And how you doing, guys? This is Jim Bowers, DEMUNSEED, back at you here on the YouTube. How do you like my big-ass microphone? Well, there's a reason behind this big-ass microphone. It's because I knocked out my tooth. And anyway, before I get into that, let me introduce my good friend right here, Mr. Don Wendt. Say hello, Don.
Going on, everybody?
So Don has been on my YouTube channel for what, about how many years now? Over on DEMUNSEED.
3. I've lost track.
3 or 4 years, something like that. But anyway, Don and I've been working together, and he's been helping me get through a lot of things. He actually came up here to Colfax, and we spent a lot of time together, and just helped me get over some things, really, because like I said in my last video a long time ago, ever since I came down with this neuroatrophy bullshit, I've been trying to figure out how to reinvent my life. I can't go out and, run up and down hills and climb mountains to fly gliders and drones and whatever anymore, because the last time I tried that, I walked out into the middle of a plowed farm field to recover my downed Phantom 4 Pro, and going out, let's say 50 yards and back 50 yards took me about 5 hours. I fell so many times because of this whole equilibrium thing. I could not stand up for more than one step, and I was down again. So it was dark by the time I got out of Hollister, California, and made it back home. So it's been a challenge, but here's what we're doing. Don and I and another friend of mine, Ted, we are putting together a podcast. And this podcast, it's not going to be all about drones anymore. It's going to be about all kinds of different adventures and stuff that I've done in my life, and things I've been involved in that you're probably really not going to believe. I'm going to show you something here. I'm going to switch over for a sec, Don. So let me go over to there. Now, you guys see that wheel over there, that spinning prize wheel? Well, that wheel, we're going to spin that thing once a week, and there's different topics on that wheel. Like, let's see, it says, let me give you a few of them. Search of Eric Garcia. That was the guy that I found deceased. And another one is from Fathead to Fame. And bucket list murder suspect, check. And building the world's largest clock, and how to weigh with a convicted Mormon, or the 500 Buddhas, or codename Condor. So there's all kinds of interesting little topics there that we're going to spin the wheel. Whatever it lands on, that's what I'm going to talk about. And your task is to figure out what is all true, and Don will verify it for you, and what happens to be just bullshit. I'm going to throw something into one of these stories that I'm just going to make up. I'm just going to throw it out there, make it up, and see if I can get you to fucking believe it. And if you catch it, then bring it out there. Throw it down in the comments, or do it in the live chat, or wherever. Oh, I'm already still getting comments over here. How are you doing? Jimmy Shaw's Tidbits. How you doing, Jimmy? And Paul Breesno, I'm doing good, Paul. And Brent, how you doing, buddy? Steve Friend, hey, glad to see you too. Thanks for sticking around here. And Jamax Pro. No, I did not get my Plexi drone yet. They're Jamax Pro, and I doubt seriously whether you have either. Because if anybody paid for that Plexi drone, well, I feel for you, buddy. I really feel for you, because you ain't never going to see it. Clever Friere is the Bernie Madoff of Canada. So anyway, so good luck to you there. If you do get it, please let me know, because I'd kind of like to know how the damn thing flies, or if it even exists. So Steve Friend, how you doing, Steve? Thomas Casuto. Hey, Tom, I haven't seen you in a while. How you been, buddy? and flying with Stan and Stan F and Jojo Danzer Niagara 201. I recognize a lot of these names, and I got to tell you guys, I really appreciate you sticking it out here and just waiting for me to rematerialize like a Star Trek fucking transporter. But I've had some rough times, I'll tell you. You see this right here? I just did that by, I lose my balance a lot. I've even got a video that I'll show you a clip of. Well, Dawn and I were shooting a time lapse of it snowing right out there. The time lapse caught me falling off the steps and into these prickly bushes that are out in my front yard, and managing to recover. So that's why I'm sitting. If I was standing, you probably wouldn't see me on camera until I got up off the floor. But I not only knocked out this tooth, Dom loves this part. Look at this. Check this out.
Oh, yeah.
Can you see that rib? Yeah, I can laugh about it because what the fuck else am I going to do? You know, it's one of those things. I've either got to kind of live with it or check out. Check in, check out. One of the two. And I do not feel like, swimming with the fishes. Not now anyway. But so here's the plan now. I'm not completely done. Some of you probably seen that surgery that I did where I went under the knife and they put yet another plate in my neck. I've got one here. I've got one here. And now what they're going to do on, what is it? January 19th or something like that. I'm going in for another surgery. And this one's kind of an experimental thing. They're going to make me Wi-Fi. I'm going to be a hotspot, a walking fucking hotspot. I freaked when they told me about this, but what they want to do is they want to put this what is it, like a sensor, like a paddle against my spine with all these, with all these little nodes on it. And via Wi-Fi, they can monitor my neuro back thing and they can adjust it via Wi-Fi. So they said for the first month or two, I'm going to have an antenna hanging out of my back. And then they'll implant this thing permanently, and it's supposed to last for battery for 5 years, that kind of thing. And I'll have Wi-Fi. Yeah. I'll give you my hotspot password. So if I'm ever in your area, log in. Surf. Free Wi-Fi. You'll know when I'm there. All you gotta do is look at your Wi-Fi networks, and when DEMUNSEED pops on, just log in. I'll give you the password if I can ever figure out how the thing's gonna work. But anyway, we just wanted to check in with you and let you know that I'm not down and out. I'm just a little bit down still, and I'm still trying to work this whole thing out. As you can see, we spent a lot of money and a lot of time creating a studio. We've got this whole studio and lighting and all that. Let me see. Watch. See, we got all that, and we've got like that's a jumping dolphin over there. I'll show you. That's an animation that I did. And we've got all those studio lights, and we've got all of our drones over there. And yet somebody is going to get that power egg. The power egg was one that we used for the movie that we were working on called Conscious. But Conscious got a little bit sidelined because the California Motion Picture Gestapo office, they kept nailing me for not having a school teacher on set while we were using minors. And so they put up with me for about 3 or 4 warnings. And then they threatened to fine me. So we have to rewrite that entire script. And hopefully one day we finish the one thing on my bucket list that I've always wanted to complete, and that's a feature film. So conscious is a good story. I just have to figure out how to get it out there. So we're going to do that. And we're going to start telling you some of these really off the wall, fucking bizarre ass stories that, like I said, some of them you're not going to believe, but these are things that I've done in my life. And I've done a lot of things. I'm telling you, a lot of fucking things. And a lot of those fucking things you're not going to believe. I was a murder suspect. I got swept out to sea in the Marianas Trench. I went and searched for Russian nukes. I was an undercover agent for the OSI. You can look that one up, Google it. And let's see. There's a whole bunch of them. I was the last one to ever fly in Yosemite National Park legally. Goddamn. How do you like my hair? Check this out. You guys remember my hair before? It's been short for a while. Holy shit, look at that. But, you know, with all this going on, and I just decided I was going to let it grow. Just let it grow. I don't give a shit. This is what it looked like when I was in my 20s. When I was in my 20s, everybody called me the Thin Man because I worked for a newspaper. I was a columnist and a cartoonist for a newspaper. And I wrote a column called The All New Adventures of the Thin Man. And so, you know, after bouncing some of these ideas off of Don and off of Ted and all that, he said, well, let's call your podcast The Thin Man. So I think we're going to go that direction. And you'll be able to get it on wherever you get your audio from, or you can watch it here. It's going to be recorded as an audio podcast, but we're going to film the making of that podcast. So if you want to watch the podcast and see all this bullshit that we do behind the scenes, you know, with the cameras and all that, hell, I don't care, then you can watch it here on this channel. Or if you want to download the podcast and listen to it in your car or play it for that flabby ass wife of yours, you can do that too over on Anchor or Google Play or Apple or what? What did you say?
Give him the full title, not just The Thin Man, The New Adventures of the Thin Man.
No, that's what it said. Is it The All New Adventures of the Thin Man? And so I think that's the way we're going to go. And let me get a couple of comments here before I let you guys go. Thomas, hey, it's really good to see you, buddy. I haven't talked to Peter in a very long time. I do need to get back in touch with him, see how he's doing. He's not into drones anymore. He's into sublimation printing, and he's doing all that kind of stuff like t-shirts and mugs and engraving and all that kind of thing. He's still over there at acesdeals.net. And let's see, David Dykes. Hi, Jim. I missed you. Glad to see you. Yep, I'm still 6 feet over. And do not forget to kiss that flabby ass wife of yours. Yeah. His timing was a little bit off, but he got message. Aerial views. Frayne, how you doing, buddy? Thanks. You rock too. And Paul Brisnio. Hey Jim, gotta go. Nice to see you again. I'll see you next time, Paul.